Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Skewb Ultimate tutorial here. My name's Ryan, and I apologize for this the poor quality video, I suppose. Um, my I had a lot of frustration uh, trying to learn how to solve this particular cube. Well, it's not a cube; it's a dodecahedron, right? Um, but I feel like the main reason for it is because the tutorials and information that I could find online was honestly extremely poor. For whatever reason, this is obviously not as popular as the Rubik's Cube or anything like that. And it is extremely difficult to solve if you don't know the correct method. So that's what I'm here to explain, because it took me a long time to figure this out, and I don't claim to be an expert in solving Rubik's cubes or anything like that. I don't time myself. All right, I'm a rank beginner at this kind of stuff, and if you're watching this video, maybe you are too. And I will show you the solution that I use to solve this, which was taken from, I suppose, a few different videos from people, piecing it together, reading online, taking my own notes. Honestly, the information for this was very, very hard to come by and poorly explained. So hopefully this tutorial video will help those who are suffering from that same problem as I was. Okay, so how do we solve this thing? The first thing you need to realize is that the Skewb Ultimate is composed of 8 different corner pieces and 6 different center pieces. So what do I mean by that? Well, this piece here, the big ones, right? These big pieces, these are the center pieces, okay? So you can see they've got 4 colors on each of the center pieces. So we've got 1, 2 on the side here, 3, 4, well, there's 6, trust me, okay? We don't need to count them out. The corner pieces, though, are these 3-piece ones here, okay? I'm trying to angle the camera so you can see clearly. These pieces are the corner pieces, and they only have 3 colors, okay? So the center pieces have 4, corner pieces have 3, all right? The idea is, at the very first step, these 4 corner pieces here, we want to orient them correctly and get them in the correct position. So realize there's 4 on this side, and then if we take this piece here, I'm going to use this this piece with the logo on it. All right, you can use that as a frame of reference when I'm rotating this cube around and stuff, because I know it's very hard. It is a very strange shape. Okay, so when people are rotating, it can be hard to follow. So this is going to be our bottom. Okay, I'm gonna reference this, and this is gonna be our bottom, and I'm gonna almost like hold it like this with my thumb on it most of the time, and the opposite side of it exactly. All right, this purple piece here is currently the top. Okay, so when we flip it around, we've got the bottom. We've got let me angle the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4 corner pieces, and then we rotate it around. We flip it 180 degrees. We have the other. We can see the other 4. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 corner pieces. Okay, so we're going to flip it back around to this side, and now we know this is our yellow color and this is our blue color. So we need to get a yellow corner piece here, and we need blue pieces here and here. Okay. We're not going to worry about this. Remember, these little diamond-shaped pieces at the beginning, don't get confused by those. They're just part of the big centerpiece, okay? So we're not concerned with those right now. So where are the yellow pieces? Well, we have one right over here, okay? So we need to get this piece into either this slot or this slot. So we're just going to kind of swing it around, okay? And in this case here, there's no exact formula for how to do this, all right? But basically, you need to get the yellow pieces into either kind of this half of the cube. I'm going to call it a cube. The dodecahedron is just too long. Of the Skewb, sorry. So we're going to rotate this up like this, and now we'll just rotate it down there into place. Okay. So now we've got the yellow piece in the correct position, but we can see that it's oriented incorrectly. right? So in order to change the orientation of them, all right, there's a very simple, we can call it an algorithm if you will, but it's just as simple. We rotate this up, like so, and then now we're going to rotate this part once, and then we're going to slide this back in, and that rotated that piece. And we can do this, as many times as needed. We just keep doing that until it is rotated in the correct position. Hopefully, we'll get one that's problematic here, and I'll be able to show you. So here's the other yellow piece. We need to get it here. So we're gonna rotate it into this top half of the cube, because in the top half is how we can swing it in, right? So we're gonna rotate it up like so, and now we swing it into place. And now when it's on the right-hand side, instead of swinging it, we swing it to the opposite direction, right? So we swing it up. All right? This is our little, I'm using this as an arrow, if you will. We swing it up. And now when we rotate, we don't want to mess up the rotation of this piece here. Okay? So in order to ensure that it doesn't get messed up, when we rotate this top part, we always rotate it down, like so. We rotate this into position, and then we rotate this back. And now you can see all of these are oriented correctly. Okay? We flip it around. Now we've got blue over here, again in the correct position, but oriented incorrectly. So again, we swing it up, we rotate it around, we swing it back. Uh-oh, it's still oriented incorrectly. Although the nice thing about this is we actually got this other piece into the correct position as well, so that was a bit lucky. But we rotate this up, rotate down on this, and then we swing it back. And now we're going to rotate this one back into position. Okay, so this one doesn't move. Now we need this other one to be in the correct rotation as well. So we swing it up. Again, swing this down, around, we move this back, and then this one back up. All right, but it's still incorrect, but we've rotated it once, so we're going to rotate it again. Up, down, over, and there. And now we have our 4 corner pieces in the correct position. So that is step 1 of solving the Skewb Ultimate. Okay, I recommend practicing that a few times just so you get the hang of it. Okay, pause this video, watch it again as many times as needed. Okay, but again, it's not that difficult. Okay, now we really need to worry about our kind of top and bottom. So we're going to hold this from the bottom piece here, right? Again, I've got my Meffert's thing, but again, you can start on any colors. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to say that this little diagonal thing is the bottom, and exactly on the opposite, we've got the top. Okay? So just hold the cube like there. So this is the bottom piece, this is the top piece. Now, our objective in this next section is we need to put the center pieces in the correct positions, but we don't need to worry about orienting them the correct way. All right, we just want the piece to be in the right spot. We don't care, it might be flipped around. We don't have to worry about that. There's no reason to stress. Okay, so we've got this center piece in the correct position. This is obviously our starting piece, if you will. The pieces we're worried about are here, 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 and here. I like to kind of put it on my fingers and rotate it that way so we don't get there's no confusion here, okay? And what you need to do is, the way this works is the top piece, whatever's on top, this top piece is going to move into one of these 4 spots, okay? Using this algorithm, all right? The top piece is going to move from here to here. So which one do we need to do it on? So we've got this piece, the top piece that we're looking at here. All right, we can see it's got white, it's got green, it's got light purple, and it's got blue. All right, when we're holding our cube like this, I know for a fact that blue is kind of the color I'm looking for here. Again, I apologize for the angle. Again, I've got a poor setup here, right? But we rotate around until we find the side that is definitely blue, right? So this is definitely the blue side, all right? We look for whatever color corresponds to either, we're looking for either kind of red, yellow, pink, or blue, right? One of those four colors that we know for sure. Don't worry about the other colors so much. So here we find blue. It's on here. So we angle the cube, again, this is our bottom, so that we are facing the blue side here, okay? Because we've got blue on top, we want to move the blue piece here. So the formula is you go right inverted, like this, left. Oh, geez, I'm not even showing it properly here. I'm terrible at this. This is a terrible setup. Anyways, so right inverted, left, right, left inverted. Okay, and you'll see now this piece here now has that blue top on it. It's oriented incorrectly, right? It's not flipped correctly, but it doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about that. So now we look at our next piece here. Now we've got yellow on the top. So I'm going to flip this around, go to the yellow side. Okay, great. This is yellow. Going to do the same formula again because we're on the yellow side here. Right inverted, left, right, left inverted, and now we've got the yellow piece there. Okay, now we've got a big pink there, right? Nice big pink color. This is a perfect example because now when we rotate it, okay, and we go to the pink side, you'll see it's actually like it's a different setup here, right? It's inverted compared to how we've been rotating it so far. We've got this nice little shape here. When we rotate it like this, it's inverted. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. It's the same formula, okay? So we just grab it like this, even though it's inverted, makes no difference, okay? Right inverted, left, right, left inverted. And you can see the piece snapped right into place. So now here we've got red. We rotate it around. Sorry, we got red on top. So we're rotating it around to the red side. And again, same thing. Boom, boom, bang, bang. Okay. And now now we look at this and we've got red here. We've got, yellow here. This is correct. This is also in the correct spot. And this piece here, again, blue on top. So we know this is also in the correct spot. So that means that this top piece here, this blue and white, is going to be in the correct spot. And as you solve this multiple times, you'll kind of learn. I like to start, I always use this as the bottom, so which means that this is always the top, and I just kind of know as well. But I want to emphasize, during this step, some of the problems you may have or some of the things that could cause you confusion is sometimes you'll find my centerpieces, the ones I've already moved down, will somehow get back to the top. The idea is just keep doing it until everything is in the correct spot. And if you've got a situation where, say I've got this blue and white piece is at the top at the beginning, but my other centerpieces are oriented incorrectly, don't worry about that. You just choose, pretend you're like, okay, I'm going to move this centerpiece temporarily over to this spot here. I know it's incorrect, but when you do the formula once, you're going to move the piece back up to the top. So and then you can just kind of continue from there, right? So just keep at it, keep doing it until you get all the centerpieces in their correct spot, like this currently is. Okay. Now, our next objective, all right, that's step 2. Step 3, we now look directly at the top. So this is our top piece, all right, and we're looking at the other 4 corners. So we've got this corner, this corner, this one, and this one over here as well. Okay, so we've already correctly oriented our other 4 corners, right? We've got our yellows and our blues over here. So that's correctly done. We need now to get these 4 corners in the correct spots. And this can be a little bit confusing, All right, but it's really quite simple. What we're doing is we don't want to worry about the colors on the top here. All right, whatever color appears on the top portion of the corners, just completely ignore. Doesn't matter. All right. What we want to look at are the colors that appear on the sides of the corner pieces. So in this case, we've got blue here, we've got purple here, all right, we've got another blue, light blue, if you will, green, etc. All right, like purple, white. Now, what we're looking for is two colors. Sorry, well, not necessarily two colors. It could be the same color, but on the same side. So, well, this is exactly what we're looking for here. All right, this is the perfect example. All right, we've got a blue and we've got a white, but they're on the same side of the Skewb. Okay, these are together. These could also occur in a different, on the opposite side. Here we got a green and a purple. I'm explaining this poorly, but what we want is we want two colors to be of the top two colors of your Skewb. Okay, so we're looking for whites and blues. Here we've got a white white and blue on the same side. But I want to emphasize that this could be white. It could be blue. All right, it could be any kind of combination of that. And this side here, they're nice and close together, so it makes it easy to see. However, if you rotate the cube, these could appear on this side of the Skewb. And on this side of the Skewb, we've got a blue here, but this is purple, so this is no good. But you can see how far apart they seem on this side, okay? But if this was blue, or if this was white-blue, because, again, my top two colors are white and blue, then that would be that would be acceptable. You can also have a case where you don't have two top colors on the same side of your Skewb, right? You could have it so you look around and you don't have this scenario. It's simply not there. In that case, just pick a side and do this formula, and keep doing it until you reevaluating until you get one of these cases. So bottom line, what do you do? Again, bottom with my thumb, top with that thumb, okay? We're rotating this around so that the white and the blue are on the left-hand side of the Skewb, okay? So they're on the left-hand side, there's the top. We're going to rotate down with them both on the left-hand side until we get to our main kind of little X here thing. And now we're going to do the exact same formula, but we're going to do it twice this time. So again, right inverted, left, right, left inverted, and now we do it a second time. So right inverted, left, right, left inverted, okay? And now what that has done is you can see now on the top that we now have our corners oriented correctly, all right? You see our top piece is, flipped, but that doesn't matter. We're only concerned with our corners, and you can see that they're all perfectly lined up, perfectly correct now. Again, realize that it's a bit weird when you're looking at, but remember, two top colors, whatever your two top colors are, it can be any combination of those. So blue, white, or blue and white. You both want them on the left-hand side of the Skewb. I'm going to show you another example here. Because I know this was confusing for me. But let's say if we were to go, well, in this case I rotated it down here, but realize if they're on the sides here, you're going to have to rotate the cube. Again, you want them on the left-hand side. So where do you turn the cube, right? So if this was blue and white, right, and we were trying to rotate it, we'd look at it like this, and we'd go down here. And this is where we'd rotate it, right? Again, top's up here, okay? So if these were the two we wanted to rotate, we put them on the left-hand side like this. We don't rotate it there. We turn it down. We rotate it here. Okay, right next to the base. Okay, so you rotate here, and this is where you would be doing the formula. Okay, now I'm not going to do it again because I'm just going to screw this up. Now that we've got everything in place, right? So all of our pieces are in the correct spot. Okay, it looks a bit weird because obviously our pieces are flipped. But this, for example, this is in the correct spot. We just need to flip it around. Okay, this blue needs to go over here. So how do you do that? Well, we use the same formula. Wow, isn't that great? Okay, but at this point in time, now that we've got all of our corners oriented correctly, there's no more top and bottom. Okay, so at this point in time, you can move the cube around. Doesn't matter. There's no top. There's no bottom. Don't worry about it. What we're looking for, there's a few different scenarios. Okay. What we want is a scenario where we have four unsolved, four sides that need to be flipped, essentially. So in this case, this is oriented correctly. This centerpiece is oriented correctly, and this centerpiece is also oriented correctly, right? And the other four, as you can see, all need to be flipped. So this is actually the ideal scenario, okay? But what you need to remember, okay, in order when you're about to perform this formula, is that well, if I have the cube, well, what I want to do is I want to position the cube like this, okay? In this particular case, because when you perform the formula, what it's going to do is it's going to flip the center pieces on four different sides, and on two sides, it's going to stay the same. Okay? So what that means is you need to know which sides are going to stay the same and which sides are going to get flipped. If we hold the cube like this and we perform our formula, which I'm going to show in a moment, this side will stay the same. Okay, I'm going to call this the bottom, if you will. Okay, this bottom piece is going to stay the same. And then if we follow it around directly to the back where it connects here, this other centerpiece, this is also going to stay the same. So this centerpiece and this centerpiece are going to stay the same. Everything else is going to get flipped. Okay, and that's exactly what we want in this case. We want this centerpiece and this centerpiece to be flipped. So all we do is we do the exact same formula, but we do it 6 times. Okay, sounds crazy, but we orient the cube because I want this piece side to stay the same, this side to stay the same, and that's it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, and we have a solved Skewb Ultimate. Okay? Now, that last part, I realize, again, I'm going to go over this again because I realized that was terrible. Okay? But I'll pick some other random side, and I'll just do it again. I'm going to, we've got a solved Skewb here. If I do it 6 times again, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, so I just did it again 6 times, that same formula. And now we've got this scenario here. Again, you'll notice it flipped 4 of them, but 2 stay the same. Again, it's the same formula, right? But sometimes you'll have a scenario where you will, it's not always going to be perfect like I had it before. You'll have to deal with a case where it'll always be multiples of 2 that are either correct or incorrect, right? So you'll either have everything solved, you'll have 2 that are wrong, or you'll have 4 that are wrong. Okay? I mean, you could also have a case where all 6 are wrong, I suppose. You just need to do the formula and realize which ones are getting flipped and which aren't. And if you've got a case where there are, either one or some are unsolved, or oh geez, how do I explain this? All right. Well, if you've got a case where, say, you've got two that are unsolved or two that are correct, but maybe they're on opposite sides of the cube, so you can't line it up so that you've got, because it's not just this one and the one behind it, right? And so it all lines up and it solves nicely. If you've got them on opposite sides of the cube, for example, make sure that you've got, you focus it on one of those sides so that one of those incorrect centerpieces does not change and the other one does, right? And then as long as one of the centerpieces changes and the other one doesn't, when you do the formula 6 times, you should end up with a scenario like this one here, where you've got one centerpiece and another centerpiece that are correct, and they're touching each other like this. And as long as they're doing that, I mean, if you put the cube like this centerpiece isn't going to change, and this one isn't going to change, and that's not what we want, because we want this one to be flipped, right? So we just kind of orient the cube, change it around until, and you can do it. So we know this piece and this piece we don't want to flip, so we orient the cube like this. Okay, and then again 6 times. And our Skewb Ultimate is solved. So again, I apologize for this lengthy tutorial and me going on about nothing, but I feel like something like this is desperately needed for this Skewb Ultimate. It's very difficult for me to solve on its own, and we desperately needed a decent tutorial. I don't know if this qualifies as that, but hopefully it will help you guys with this monstrosity.